All right. Thank you so much, everyone, for joining us this evening to the Trenton Board of Education TV radio broadcast on Trenton Talks with our sponsors, WIMG 1300 AM, our sponsors, WPHY Verizon Channel 28. My name is Gerald Schwer. I'm your host. I'm a board member of Trenton Board of Education, chairing the Family Community Engagement and School Support Committee, and as well as the Policy Committee, along with Board President Addie Daniels-Lane, who chairs our Curriculum and Instruction Committee, Board Vice President Lano Lopez, who chairs our Human Resources Committee, Board Member Jeannie Weeklam chairs our Facilities and Grounds Committee, Board Member Jean Bowie chairs our Operations Committee, and Board Member Sharon Tice, she's on our Human Resources and Policy Committee, and Denise Johnson is on Policy and Family Community Engagement and School Support. Certainly want to thank our Superintendent, Mr. James Earl, our Chief School Administrator, for his leadership, for his support, for his commitment to our school community. We want to make sure that we thank our co-host, Denise Trees, for her time and her commitment to not only to this broadcast, but to our city and to Trenton Public Schools as our parent coordinator and homeless liaison for Trenton Public Schools, all the great work that Denise is doing to support families in our community. Thank our attendees on Zoom Live and our Trenton Public Schools Facebook page, and of course, on our replay on WIMG 1300 AM at 7 p.m. on Tuesday, and Verizon Channel 28 WPHY on Thursday at 11 p.m. You can catch us on our radio channel, of course, again, WIMG on Tuesdays at 7, TV, Verizon 28, Thursdays at 11, YouTube channel, Trenton TV, and a replay on our Facebook page on Trenton Public Schools. So we have an exciting program for you this evening. We're going to be talking about Black Wall Street and the opportunities that are coming our way on April the 30th at the Trenton Central High School from 11 to 4 p.m. at Trenton High School on April 30th, 2022. The Legacy of Black Wall Street, Black Wealth Summit, Closing the Racial Wealth Gap, sponsored by the African American Cultural Collaborative of Mercer County, Operation Rebuild Trenton, Trenton Branch, NAACP. We have representatives on the call from Operation Rebuild Trenton, Jossie Edwards, representation from Trenton Branch of NAACP, Palmer Richardson. Also, Trenton Public Schools, of course, is part of the hosting in terms of sponsorship to Big Easy, Operation Rebuild Trenton, ASALA, Dr. Carnegie Wilson's organization, and also Positive Black Images Connect, as well as the Event Rooster and Wells Fargo as our primary sponsors for the event. So the first question goes out to Palmer and also to Jossie. Why the Legacy of Black Wall Street? What's going on? Why the Black Summit? And why do we need to close the wealth gap? Jossie? Or Palmer?
Well, thank you, Pastor, for that. And, thank you for all that you do and for all that the board does in our community. To everyone out there, hi, my name is Palmer Richardson. I have the pleasure, along with a number of people, including the great Jossie Edwards and Mr. Tarsha Burke, putting together this financial literacy event. The question was, why Black Wall Street? Historically, for those who know, Black Wall Street, or the Greenwood District, stood as a beacon of financial attainment and Black wealth, especially during the early 20th century. And for anyone to look at the current state of what I'll call Black economics, you'll see that there is a major wealth gap within communities of color, but especially within Black communities. And when we were conceptualizing this event, this notion of putting on financial literacy events for the community, we realized that there's a need to address financial literacy in all its various facets. I don't believe, and I think we can be honest about, conversations around what it means to be financially literate typically aren't conversations that are had in homes of color. We often get talks about what to do when officers approach you and what to do in other situations. But when it comes to how to balance a checkbook or the importance of investing, I believe those conversations are largely devoid in our households, and not just I, but we. And so in keeping with that and understanding the legacy that Black Wall Street presents, we thought it not robbery to working with the community to put together a few events that would teach members of the community, especially those of color, especially African Americans, what financial literacy is in its various facets, the importance of it, and how we as a community, through investment and through collective work, can bring ourselves out of poverty and some of these disastrous statistics as it pertains to home ownership, as it pertains to just wealth attainment in a general sense. And so that's what we decided to do. We set out to do this as a part of the first annual Juneteenth initiative that took place last June. We did our first event on just general investing in November in partnership with the Trenton Museum and other organizations. And we are now, I'm happy to report, doing our second event in partnership with a number of organizations to include the Trenton Board of Education, TCHS, Trenton Central High School main campus, where we'll be hosting a Black Wealth Summit to talk about not only the legacy of Black Wall Street and what that community meant and its importance to us as a community, but also, you know, what it stood for and what it showcased, the potential that it broadcasted to us. And, you know, without going too much into the details of it, because I believe my wonderful coordinator or co-organization person will be sharing the details. It's designed to, you know, showcase where we should be, where we've been, where we are, and where we should be. And, you know, we're just excited to put this event on.
Yeah, excellent work. So Jockey, what's happening with the youth? How are the youth being involved with the summit? I know you're doing some work with the youth in terms of timelines and work with the school and work with Mercer County Community College. Just share with us what's happening with our youth, how our youth are getting involved in the actual programming and educational part of the Black Wall Street Summit.
So we are engaging the youth in a number of ways. One with doing a presentation, a multimedia oral presentation on stage as a part of one of the segments, and that is going to be by Trio's Upper Bound students, where Director Stacy Denton is going to be working with a group of kids to focus on the the legacy of Black Wall Street and hopefully the economic decline of Trenton. We want to really include that. Also, the Trenton High School students are going to be working with their teachers. Mackenzie Kelly, she's a history teacher. Caristo Feliciano, she's a finance teacher at the Trenton Central High School. And they're going to do trifold presentation boards of a timeline of the establishment and the timeline of the history of Black Wall Street in the Greenwood District of Tulsa, Oklahoma, up to its massacre. So how did they become the most prosperous, predominantly African-American community in the United States in its time, up until its massacre? And also a timeline of the economic decline of Trenton. So how Trenton used to be, hopefully they will be able to display some of the statistics of, how long the dollar stayed in the community, and then up to its economic decline of when we used to have all the factories here and how they left and went overseas and how that caused the decline of Trenton, and the riots as well in '68. There's so many things that contributed to it, but the main thing is those factories leaving and we lost our employment, our workforce here in Trenton. So and thirdly, and lastly, the Slime Lounge, the owner of Slime Lounge, Marquisa Blackstone, affectionately known as Kisa, she and her daughter opened up Slime Lounge during the pandemic, and they will be hosting a Black Renaissance Youth Vision Board party. So from ages, I believe, 7 or 8 to about 15 or something like that. She's going to be hosting the kids and do her own presentation of what Black Wall Street was and could be right here in the city of Trenton, being a 50% predominantly African-American city. How can we recreate Black Wall Street here? And more importantly, how do you see yourself as an African-American in the city of Trenton, in the United States? So first beginning the conversation with that, asking the kids, who are you as a African American? How do you see yourself and where you want to be, when you grow up, and, get those answers, and then talk about, what Black culture is, what Black Renaissance is, and what they have the capabilities of becoming when they're older. So she's going to have a multimedia presentation, and they're going to have their own vision boards, like a 11 by 16 glass frame, where they'll have the paper inside. They'll be able to post different things from cutouts from magazines, quotes and things that they find on the internet, and pictures and stuff, and put together what they see themselves in the future as a contributor to Black Renaissance here in the city. So we're excited about that. So there's 3 ways for the youth to get involved. This event is absolutely free, and I believe KISA is registering up to 50 students, 50 kids for that.
That sounds so amazing, Jossie. Can you repeat for our audience again what the age range is to participate in the student vision boards?
It is ages, I'm gonna get the confirmation right now. It's ages 8 to 14.
Awesome. Can you talk to us a little bit more about the vendors that'll be participating as well?
Yes, so we partnered with Positive Black Images Connect, and I believe in, I think I got this right, but Amini Sababu is the president of Positive Black Images Connect. I know it's a board of them, but I'm just not sure entirely of positions. Every year they host Buy Black Your Community Marketplace at Christina Sykes. So we invited them to partner with us to host that same marketplace right here in Trenton High, to bring it more in the inner community, and and give people the chance to actively spend their money in the Black community with African American owned businesses from the greater Trenton area. There's going to be anywhere between 30 and 50 of them. We have a good number registered so far. We're capping it at 50, so because of COVID. But these vendors come from retail and restaurants. So there's African garments, there's jewelry, there's clothes, there's even youth programs, mental health services, adult programs. Like, there's a plethora of different things. It's not just about shopping and buying a nice bag or something like that, but actually getting involved in your community as well, because a lot of times people don't know what's going on in their environment, what the available resources and services are, so they don't get involved. So what we want to do is just bring all of that to one area, so you can shop around and see how you can get involved, who you can support as far as purchasing items. But it's about closing the racial wealth gap and keeping the dollar in the Black community longer, especially with businesses that in turn reinvest their revenue into the communities in which they serve.
Awesome. And then also during the event, there's going to be panel discussions or workshops. Do you want to talk a little bit more about like what will the day look like once parents are welcomed in, and also will food be available?
Yes, so imagine this as a full-blown convention, a summit. So everyone will have a program on all of the things that are going on. A lot of these things are going to be running simultaneous, and everyone will have a program on what room and what times things are going on. You'll be able to bounce around. So beginning at 11 o'clock, we are going to have a 3-segment presentation, or there are 3 presentations throughout the day, should I say. So one at 11, that's the students with the multimedia presentation. And then following them, we'll have a presentation by the African American Chamber of Commerce COO Phil Woolfolk, and he's going to be talking about recognizing some of the socioeconomic disparities and generational curses that kind of hinder, or definitely hinders, African American communities. So if we're doing a past, present, and future presentation, the kids are going to be talking about the past, and the CEO, Phil Woolfolk, is going to talk about present things, like how long or how much money African Americans spend. So for example, $1.4 trillion in consumerism, whereas Black businesses only revenue $200 to $300 billion out of that 1.4 trillion. So versus other ethnic communities that generate hundreds of more billions of dollars per year in revenue. So how can we keep that money here? So what's happening now? And then that future panel or the future discussion is a panel discussion. So that's going to consist of urban planner Stephanie Register. She's from the city of Trenton. She's a certified urban planner, and she works with Ciandre Daniels, who's the economic development and the housing department director of both of those departments. So Stephanie Register, she works with the Trenton 250 master plan. She's working on the urban fight the blight program. So she's doing a lot of amazing things in the city. So we want her to come and talk about some of those things that's going on and how residents of the city and business owners can get involved to help push and bring that Trenton 250 master plan to life. We also have local business owner, entrepreneur, and return to citizens guru, Tracy Syfax, is going to be sitting on the panel as well, talking about some of the return to citizens programs that he has for entrepreneurship. So at the end of the program, if I'm not mistaken, there is like startup funds and grants and things that he distributes to the participants who complete the program successfully. So, and we had a third one.
Yeah.
Let me put that up. So, go ahead, Palmer.
Now, I believe the let's see, the third one. Well, we also had the presentation by the owner of the Falls, TC Cuthbertson, who will be presenting on a legislative initiative that he has in the works to promote entrepreneurship in high school. And we're looking at also having legislative representation through either Assemblywoman Valina Reynolds or Congresswoman Bonnie Watson-Coleman.
Yes, we're waiting on confirmation from both of them. So, and then we have Patrick Hall, who's also a local entrepreneurship and business owner that is going to be moderating that panel as well. So we got some powerful heavy hitters on that panel that's going to be talking about what we can do in future-wise now, starting now, how we can, achieve economic revitalization in the city of Trenton. How can we keep the money here longer and reinvest all that revenue into the city to make it a better place, make it safer, make it cleaner, and just economically sufficient, with a healthy mixture of retail, entertainment, restaurants, and things like that. So that's the presentation that's going on, and that's going to be running throughout the day. We have a lunch break in between. We have a couple of breaks in between, so you'll be able to float around to the other rooms. So the lunch break, that's going to be in the cafeteria, and we do have a sponsor, the Big Easy, and we also have Event Rooster by the Falls. So they are sponsoring free lunch, and there will be food vendors as well. So, you'll be able to actually purchase food in the marketplace, or you can attend the lunch in the cafeteria.
And anchoring that panel will also be, again, Mr. Woolfolk, who will give the perspective from his role as in the Chamber of Commerce.
That's who I was missing. He is also sitting on that panel. So he's doing the presentation and the panel. So he's talking about the present and the future. So, yes.
So your organization is doing amazing things. So if a community member or parent wanted to join your organization, can you talk to us a little bit about, how they can reach out or, work with your organization to help to create some of these events? Or I'm not sure if you wanted to share a little bit more about your mission and things that you guys are doing.
Sure, I don't mind. Well, we are Operation Rebuild Trenton. We are not a 501c3, but we are a state registered nonprofit organization based in Trenton, New Jersey. Where we focus on the purpose of our organization is to end gun violence by working to rebuild faith, love, and respect in the city of Trenton, and engaging the residents in organized activity that encourage community and civic engagement. And we also help in identifying areas to redevelop, areas of plight in the city to revitalize. So we focus on community engagement, economic revitalization, and civic engagement as well. So we do voter registration. We are on Facebook, Operation Rebuild Trend. We do have a group page, so you can add us on Facebook. We're always welcoming volunteers for all of the events that we do, from the cleanups to voter registration drives and now the financial literacy program. So, and I can also be found on Facebook at Jossie Mackay Edwards as well. So.
And then for my part, I sit as one of the committee heads for the Trenton chapter of the NAACP, who for decades in the community has served as a driving force for social empowerment. Our president is Leslie Samuel. We welcome everyone to be involved in the NAACP. We welcome our members. Honestly, the more the merrier. Our mission is equality and promoting equity in its various forms. We do have a website. Give me a second, I can get you the website address. And I believe membership is only $10. So I'm sorry, $30 to register to become a member.
Hello, everyone. I'm LaTarsha Burke from the African American Culture Collaborative of Mercer County. Our mission is to improve the quality of life for our community through arts, education, and culture. We provide opportunities for diverse families to come together in a positive, safe environment to build communities through collaboration across cultures. Collaboration is the key word in our name. I solely believe that we are more powerful when we come together and we bring all these amazing resources and knowledge that we have. And when we're all on a similar mission, similar goals, similar objectives, that only great things can happen. Our core values for the collaborative includes unity, coming together to bridge cultural gaps, legacy, recognizing the sacrifice of our ancestors, community, celebrating people of color, integrity, uncompromised commitment, education, acknowledging contributions and journeys and educating on our true history, and commitment, engaging the community in cultural excellence. So, for myself, I serve as the executive director of the Cultural Collaborative. And I just want to say that this partnership with Jossie and Palmer has been absolutely amazing. And in the 10 years that I've been volunteering in the Trenton Mercer County community, I can say I've never had a partnership that has been this smooth sailing. They have definitely taken a lead. They are very passionate about what they do. And I'm just proud that they are, bringing me in, I'm going to say, as a team member. So congratulations to Palmer and Jossie, and keep up the great work. And both of you are a bright light in this community.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you.
I just want to add that, this couldn't be possible without the collaboration of the African American Cultural Collaborative. And to LaTarsha's sentiment, it's collaborations that's going to make the city, turn around and revitalize it. One organization can't do it by itself. Even three cannot do it by itself, which is why we always reach out to as many organizations that will have us, that will partner with us. And hopefully this will grow to be something, annual in the city that, the entire city can partake in. So, thank you, LaTarsha, because when we came up with this idea, you were like, okay, let's do it. So it's what the community needs, is what we need. So we're going to keep at it because consistency is key.
And I completely co-sign on to everything that Jossie just said. I mean, without the great Ms. LaTarsha, this wouldn't even be possible. Who honestly, and I will say for me, but it's refreshing to have a leader who also believes in the power of the collective. And, as Jossie indicated, the more we do together, the better our accomplishments will be. And I will say that this is just one of our events. Again, we had another event that we did last November, and we will have another event focusing on entrepreneurship this Juneteenth. And we're really excited to talk about that. We'll have more information at the summit, but we're excited, ready to start. And I will say, I misspoke earlier, the NAACP doesn't have a website. We have a Facebook page with registration information on there. But we're excited, and thank you so much for having us.
Yes, and thank you to the Board of Education because you guys did the same thing. Once we came to you with this idea, you welcomed us with open arms. So this also cannot be possible without the collaboration of the Trenton Public Schools. So we really appreciate that, and we hope that this partnership continues in the future.
Absolutely.
Absolutely. And we're really excited for this event. We've already posted it on Facebook, and we're going to continue to share the event with our parents and community. Jossie, if you want to type in your information that you want to share, I'll make sure that it goes onto our Facebook live chat. I'm also monitoring to see if there's any questions from our audience. There hasn't been any yet. So if there is a question, I'll definitely direct it to all of you. And as I mentioned before, I mean, this is great. This is just a beginning of more projects that are to come. And, anybody that wants to join Operation Rebuild Trenton or the African American Culture Collaborative in Mercer County or the NAACP, I'm going to share that information with all of you. So now we have Mr. Trueheart back. And any final thoughts on the program, Mr. Trueheart, that you wanted to share?
No, I'm just excited about what's going to happen on April 30th and all the great work that LaTarsha and Jossie and Palmer and the group are doing to bring awareness around the legacy of Black Wall Street. I mean, it's much needed. It goes right in line with the Homicide Act in terms of teaching African American history. And I think that we're right on target with continuing to share information that is going to be beneficial to all of our students, not just African American students, but to all of our students. So I'm looking forward to an awesome opportunity to be a part of this program and be a part of this event coming up April 30th. So we have Jeannie back, or?
Yeah,
I'm back.
So.
Well, definitely want to thank LaTarsha and Jossie Edwards and Palmer Richardson for all their great work. I can't see, is Jossie and Palmer and LaTarsha still on?
Yes.
Yes.
Oh, great. Do you guys have any closing comments that you want to share? Maybe you've already done that. Do you have any closing comments that you want to share before we go on to our renaming policy with Jeannie?
I want to include that Gerald Trueheart has been my advisor since 2014. So he plays a major role in the progression of the African American Culture Collaborative. And I just want to say that I appreciate you, Mr. Trueheart, and hope you continue with us on this ride.
Yes.
Amen. Thank you so much. God bless you.
Ditto.
Palmer or Jossie? Oh.
Yes, I want to ditto that, and and thank you as well, Pastor Trueheart, because you liaison between the Board of Education and this collaborative effort to make this Black Wealth Summit happen. So appreciate you as well.
Yep, Brother Morehouse, definitely appreciate all of your consistent partnership and dedication towards it, and helping us out to develop our mission. Really, really appreciate it, and we hope to see everybody there at the summit.
Yes, and in closing, please register on Eventbrite so that we can have a head count for everyone. This event is entirely free and open to the public. We're not restricting anything, and we're just asking that everyone wear their mask to attend. But please come and ready to learn. We have some swag bags to give out to the first 100 people that show up. We have free lunch. We have presentations. We have a vision board party for the kids. We have a DJ. So there's music, and we're just going to make this a fun and informative event.
We got some prizes too.
Yes, we do have prizes.
Awesome. Thank you so much. So we're going to transition now to talk about the renaming of our schools. And I'm going to turn it over to Miss Jeannie Weeklam so she can talk about the town hall meeting that occurred last night.
Good afternoon, and thanks for having me on. We held the town hall meeting with the community to answer any questions that anybody would have regarding the ongoing policy, changing of the school names campaign. We did not have a big turnout. We were hoping to have more parents involved, but that's just the way it is. But we still need people to submit names for suggestions. There are forms on the website that people can download on the front page. Just click on the press release button and the forms come up. We have them in Spanish and English. And they're due into the business administrator's office on the 24th of March. And from there, we've got a group of representatives from NAACP, what we call the Old Timers Club, which is older members of the community that have a group that's working with the schools. We have some board representation, but we're going to go through and vet the names and grade them on a rubric and narrow it down to the policy states that we must have at least 3 names, but not more than 5 for each school. So we will get it down to 5 names per school if we get that many in. There's not a lot of restrictions on the criteria for the names. I'll read them to you right now. Hold on, let me get my English version. Each name shall be known to a significance to people in the district. Names submitted shall not conflict with any other schools in the district or the surrounding area. And the use of names of living persons shall be avoided unless circumstances warrant an exception. So it's not real restrictive, but the more they've done for Trenton, the more they've been involved in Trenton, the more pertinent they are to the local community is important, because we need to let the kids see, what Trenton produces. There's an awful lot of people in this city that have done a lot of wonderful things, and I think it's good to highlight them. So this is a perfect way to do it. As far as the school board goes, we do not have anybody in particular that we have in mind. We want the community to be the one to suggest some names. So again, the deadline is the 24th of March. Only, we put this out at the beginning of the month, but we're going to need time to vet these names and make sure everybody's background is clean, that warrants being on there, and get it all prepared and narrowed down so we can get it to the board for the April 22nd meeting, when the board will vote. And then as of July 1st, the names will transition. So
Ms. Jeannie, can you walk us through again? You said that submissions can happen on the website. Where exactly do community and parents go on to the website?
Go to the front page of the schools, and there's pictures to click on, links, and hopefully they're changing the name, but it says press release on there. There we go. All right, go down. Renaming, there you go. You're there.
Yeah, so where would they put the submission? Because these are the press releases.
No. Just the 2 on the left of the press releases. The forms are the pictures of the schools. One's in Spanish, one's in English.
Sorry, let me go backwards.
Yeah, go back. All
Did
right,
you
go
say go
down.
back? I'm
No,
sorry.
go down.
Down.
I'm thinking, all right, press release, click renaming. Yep. Oh, see, it says renaming a Columbus school.
Yes. Okay.
Click on that.
Do they click on the pictures?
Click on the pictures, and there's the form.
Okay, so they have to download the form.
Yeah.
And then they physically submit it.
Physically submit it to the business administrator. All the information's on the form.
Okay, so these are, so once again, parents and community, you go to the homepage, you click on press release.
Yep.
And then you will click on each picture. So there's a renaming of Columbus and renaming of Wilson. You will have to download and print the paperwork and then bring it to 108 North Clinton Avenue. And you could leave it with the business administrator. Or if you have an envelope, you can leave it with the security guard and they'll make sure that they receive that information.
Now, Denise, scroll down a little bit more
Oh,
on there.
sorry, I'll go back.
Okay, all right. What is, yeah, what's that? Is that the online one? Click on that.
This one, okay. Oh, there
This-
is the online version.
That's the online version in Spanish and the other one should be the online version in English.
Okay, so they can submit it electronically. Okay.
Yep.
Good. All right, so we'll go backwards. So we're gonna click on to the press
Rename.
release and then the electronic versions are down here.
Down here, yeah. I think we need to change that name, say it's electronic.
Yeah. It'll be
And
easy.
those are both in Spanish, right? Oh, name, okay, both in Spanish and English, that works.
Yes.
Okay,
Yeah, so we got a lot of feedback at our meeting last night, and it was a good amount of feedback from the handful or so folks who were there. And we're making the updates and adjustments based on those recommendations, getting the word out, hard copy to the parents on Dojo, which is an electronic version of communication with the elementary school parents. We're doing hard copies home as well. The superintendent said that he could make those recommendations go forward. Many of those recommendations were communication. Number one, hey, we're on the radio, we're on TV, it's on our website. So we're doing those parts of the communication, but more is required. We're going to continue to push this effort forward. We're also going to have the forms, the policy and the forms will be at this weekend's Parent Summit. I'll be there with the forms. Jeannie gave me the forms last night and said, you're going to be at the summit. Here are the forms. And so I have those forms that Jeannie gave me from last night. And I will have those at the summit for parents when they come in to share with the parents the renaming of Christopher Columbus School as well as Woodrow Wilson School and the significance of the renaming of these schools. We have to change the paradigm thinking of President Woodrow Wilson, who was a racist and a segregationist at the time. And we know what he played in the White House. So we want to make sure that the birth of nations, we make sure that the name of our school buildings do not represent, do represent our heroes, do represent the honor of our community. And Christopher Columbus, I mean, with the killing of indigenous folks when he came up to the Americas and enslaved them and the things that he did, over 13 to 14 million slaves at the hands of the Spaniards. And so, I mean, these names are not a true reflection of our community. And so that's one of the backdrops in terms of the occasion as to why we are going about changing these names, not just done in a vacuum, but it's been talked about and shared in our committee as well as on our board for the last year or so. And now we're after the COVID slowed us down a little bit, but now we're back and we want to make sure that this gets done before July 1st of 2022. So those schools will be renamed with community input and collaboration from our community. And that collaboration continues. And this is where you come in. We like everyone to get the word out. I mean, share the information. We've posted on Facebook. We posted on YouTube. I believe it's posted on Instagram. Go to our Trenton Public Schools website. Go to the forum. Go to Trenton Public Schools Facebook page. Go to the YouTube page and share with everyone in the community about the renaming so everyone can have an opportunity to be involved and collaborate with this great effort that we're putting forth to change the names of these two schools in our community. Jeannie?
that pretty much covers it. Thank you, Gerald. And the other thing, when filling out the text portion of it, use facts. Facts are important. Feelings are good, but facts are what's really important. So the more facts you have, the more weight you can carry. But we just hope that, this is for the community to do, and we want the community's input, and we've been looking for it. So I hope everybody, if you have someone you want, that you get the form in and do it.
Jeannie, and also it's not necessarily, I know we talk about the number of names that are submitted, and we want a good portion, a good sample of names submitted from the community, on behalf of the community to the board for consideration. But for me, it's about quality over quantity.
Right.
We want
right.
quality names. You want quality write-ups. You want something that really reflects our community. The person reflects our community, reflects our values, honors our community, are heroes of our community, well-known in our community. And we want a good quality write-up about why this particular person should be on our school building. Now, I mean our school building, it's meaning our community. Everyone in our community, from our teachers and our parents, our students, our stakeholders, our community partners. We want everyone to feel good about the name. So submit a name, but again, it's not about quantity. For me, it's about the quality of the name that is being submitted to the board for consideration, to the committee for consideration, to go to the board.
All of the information has been posted onto Facebook. So you heard it, folks. You have an opportunity to provide input on the renaming of the schools. Visit TrentonK12.org to Trenton's homepage. Click on the renaming of the press release, and then you have two choices. You can either download and handwrite your submission, or you can submit it electronically. The decision will be made of a group of stakeholders, and that will include board members, community members, members of various community organizations, and they're going to be rating the names. And then the hope is, Jeannie, to have everything finalized by
the April 22nd meeting. What the group will do is take the entries that have been submitted and narrow it down to 5 entries for each school. And from there, those 5 will be presented to the school board, and the school board will vote and pick from there. So that's how the process works per the policy.
And we will have the rubric out. We're finalizing the rubric. The first 3 requirements are very simple. It's either yes or no, in terms of the 3 requirements that are in our policy. The 4th requirement is really reviewing and assessing the write-up of the person. And so we're finalizing that particular aspect of the rubric. That rubric will be shared with our community as we continue to push forward with the renaming of the schools. Again, the rubric will be shared in terms of what that looks like, and the how we're going to assess the written part of the submission to the committee. So we'll have that information out post haste, ASAP.
We have a
But again,
question from Facebook from Maritza
Sure.
Rivera. Can it be a person's name?
Yes,
Person's
name, yes.
But
Like, for
avoid,
example, Louise Manouche Rivera, right? Louise Manouche Rivera Community Middle School. That is named after a well-known Puerto Rican, native of Puerto Rican. And you also have Holland Middle School, named after the former mayor, right? Also, right, Hedgepeth Williams Middle School of the Arts. Thank you, Jossie, right? In reference to the Hedgepeth Williams court case that led to the Supreme Court, Brown versus Board of Education. So certainly a name is going to be is key and important. It does not just have to be a name, but that is kind of the trend in Trenton, is a name on the school, a name of a person. but does it necessarily have to be a name of a person? Not necessarily, but certainly all submissions are encouraged. Jeannie, is that?
That sounds perfect.
All right. So we
But
have,
again,
yes.
preferably a non-living person is really
Yeah,
the
the
key.
policy does speak to that. I mean, the
Yeah.
policy speaks to an extreme circumstance, right? So it would have to be an extreme circumstance. How do you define extreme? We haven't gotten there yet, right? So
Yeah.
I think most of the names that have been submitted so far are not a living person. So I think most folks will submit someone who has a legacy in the city who's no longer living. But if there is a submission of a living person as a name of a school, then we'll cross that bridge and consider it if it's extreme or not. So we'll take a look at what that looks like and how we move forward with that determination with the group in the facilities committee that's working to assess the overall names prior to going to the board for consideration on April 22nd. Jeannie, anything else?
That's all I've got.
Any more questions, Denise, in the chat or Facebook?
So Maritza just mentioned, so it has to be a popular person.
Well,
Not necessarily.
someone. I mean, if it's popular, meaning I guess that we have to define what popular means, right? So, what does it mean by popular? Michael Jackson is popular. Do you want Michael Jackson to be on your school building? Maybe so. I mean, right? Popular person is Dr. Carter G. Woodson. He was a popular person at that time historically. He was a historian. That may be a name. I'm just throwing names out. And the definition of popular is more about what have they done for the community? How have they impacted your life? How have they honored the legacy of education in our school district? You know, those are just some of the things that I think resonate with me. You know, how have they impacted the lives of students in our community? Like at last night's meeting, our community forum, there was a lot of dialogue around the name of one particular superintendent, Dr. Crosby Copeland, and the passion of how Dr. Copeland impacted their lives was a critical ingredient in the write-up, in the 500-word write-up that was done to submit his name. So, I mean, popular, yes, but I think it goes beyond just being popular.
Impact. What impact did they have on the city?
All right, awesome. Well, that's all the questions we have regarding this topic. So I think we're going to transition now to school updates. Mr. Trueheart, I know you wanted to mention a few things.
Well, I want to ask you, right? I mean, this parent summit, I have been sharing it out, my morning broadcast just about every single day. And I know this is the first weekend on March 19th that we're going to host this at Trenton Central High School from 8:30, I believe, to about 12:30 in the afternoon. Come out, have a bite to eat, have breakfast, settle in, hear the keynote speaker, go to these great breakout sessions that we're going to have. I mean, what are some of the breakout sessions on this March 19th Parent Summit, Denise, that we're going to have for parents to participate in?
I'm glad you asked. I'm going to actually go to the site because the brochure is on here and I can just go through the topics. If you go to the Parent Connect site, you click here and then you will see a page dedicated to the summit. You'll click on Parent Connect Summit and you will see the agenda for the day, as Mr. Trueheart already mentioned. and Miss Addie Daniels-Lane is the keynote speaker for the March event. So we have our
That's our
bilingual
board
program.
president, by the way. That's
Yes.
our board president.
Yes.
Yeah.
So we have our bilingual program, and they're going to be discussing how to support literacy at home and ensure academic success. During the workshop, they'll provide parents information with language acquisition and the importance of supporting literacy skills at home and beyond. So this workshop will be twofold because it'll be run in English and in Spanish. We have a healthy living segment. Does the food you eat affect your brain? You will have the opportunity to practice key reading skills and strategies while learning about the impact of junk food and stress eating on the brain. Another segment will be on world language, benefits of foreign language education, making foreign language a fun experience for parents to get more information regarding the benefits of learning world languages and how it impacts children's academic success. And then we have STEAM, science, technology, engineering, art, mathematics. So families will take a closer look on artists and materials, and they'll use to make sculptures. Families will create sculptures with recycled materials. This approach to art making not only creates environmental awareness, but also helps in finding a good use for unwanted materials. Each student will receive the book Magic Trash, a story of Tyree Guyton and his art. We also will have a workshop on mindfulness techniques and strategies, and that's going to be led by Mama Yoga. And she's going to talk about mental training practices that teach you to slow down racing thoughts, let go of negativity, and calm both your mind and body. This training will assist with providing families coping and strategies to deal with stress and trauma events. And then lastly, we have social emotional learning. Fall in love with reading, supporting children's social and emotional growth through literacy. During this session, parents will understand that children feel a full range of emotions. Parents will receive children's books and learn strategies of how to teach their children appropriate and acceptable ways to express their emotions. And we also will have community partners sharing resources, and they're going to have their swag bags and other goodies and giveaways to provide. This is the QR code to pre-register for the events, and we have special goodies for parents that pre-register. All parents will receive something, but for those that do actually register, they will receive a special gift. Food will be provided by Airmark, and they've been an awesome partner to us. And we're just looking forward to having a great event. Parents, if you want to volunteer, you can contact me. I will leave my information on the Facebook page. We have already more than 20 parent volunteers that will be attending. We also are just looking forward to coming together as a community to just, empower parents as leaders and as partners. And so that's pretty much the summary of the event. We also are continuing our Parent Connections in-person meetings. It's a 6-week series where parents will learn various techniques on how to bridge the gap between home and school. And that will be led by our program manager of community and family outreach, Brenda Diaz. And during these 6 weeks, parents will receive childcare. So if we want to remove any barriers from parents from coming out. And also during the summit, there's childcare as well, if I didn't mention that, sorry. And food will also be provided during the Parent Connect meetings. This is a smaller group of parents, and you can also register to participate. We had a phenomenal group in the early fall, and we did vision boards. We talked about why school attendance matters. We talked about healthy living, stress. We talked about caregivers, hearing about anxiety and how to deal and cope with that, and how to find treatment options. So we're just looking forward to receiving a new group of folks. So again, I will leave that information on Facebook, And if you have any questions, please feel free to reach out to me, and I will definitely point you in the right direction to either joining the Parent Summit or participating in the Parent Connect meetings. Mr. Trueheart?
Hey, I'm definitely encouraging parents to register, man. I'm registering. My wife and I are going to register. I want my swag bag. We gotta come get your swag bag, folks. Parents, come on. Not only your swag bag, but come get a great meal, breakfast meal. Come bring your children to the event. It's a family event. It's family focused, family centered. Come get the education. Come learn, right? And come communicate and collaborate with other parents of how we can build each other up, not tear each other down, but build each other up. Because this Parent Summit is just one of several that are scheduled. I believe the second one is scheduled April 2nd?
April 2nd
and May
14th.
And May 14th. So there's 3 bites at this apple, but this first one, you got to get to this first event on March 19th at Trenton Central High School. You got to get there. Go ahead, Denise, what's up?
Yes, and I almost forgot to mention Henry J. Austin Mobile Health Unit will be on site. So if your child is missing any mandatory immunizations, they will be providing that. And also if there's an interest in receiving the COVID-19 vaccine shot. So thank you to Henry J. Austin for also participating. And I also want to shout out our sponsors for the event, which is Horizon, Airmark, and WellCare. So thank you for having our back and providing us with additional materials to make this event seamless.
But check this out, Denise. We got to holler at Micah, right? Micah Freeman, our supervisor of nursing, the work that she's doing. I mean, she was on last week or the week before. These weeks are running together, but I believe it was last week. We do a lot of broadcasting and we really share information with our community. She was sharing about the Henry J. Austin van. It's like a mobile, man. It's like a big bus, right? It's like a big bus coming in. And it has all of what we need in terms of immunization, like you said, Denise. COVID-19 shots, right? COVID-19. Will they have testing as well? Was that one of the items? Maybe.
I don't think they're doing testing for
Okay.
COVID-19. They're just providing the immunizations and the vaccine.
Okay. There you have it, man. So great work. Shout out to Micah Freeman, supervisor of nursing, bringing together the community, and of course you, Denise. I mean, for the work that you're doing. I mean, great work. I mean, you see the website that you put together, Parent Connect. You go to our website. You go to that Parent Connect. If you go to our website, go to that parent as a parent. Go to that Parent Connect every time you touch our website. And I encourage you to go to the website at least once, twice a day, once a day, if not a couple times a week. Go to that Parent Connect section, click on that Parent Connect, and go and look at all the information, all the resources that are available to our parents in our community. Not just the Parent Summit, but the Parent Connect, where the parents come together, like Denise mentioned. There's so many resources. I mean, we even get to talk about today. We're gonna have to get off the line because it's getting close to our time of departure in terms of our time running out. But I mean, you get to go down to Denise's office, and she has that shine. We had Shine and Inspire. Carol Philman was on one of our broadcasts the last couple of weeks, and Shine and Inspire. And that room, that room is huge, man. It's different supplies, hygiene supplies. I mean, you got Pampers down there, you got wipes down there, you got things for the babies, you got things for hygiene, you got toothbrushes, toothpaste. I mean, you have a number of things that are there for the community and for the parents who are in need. I mean, so if you're in need, you need to reach out to Denise so she can provide the resources, if not from the Shine and Inspire room, definitely from Shine and Inspire, from other resources that we have around the district to help parents. So Denise, man, great work, Denise. What else you got, Denise?
Thank you. That's all I have for tonight because we've reached our hour.
Okay.
And but I just want to say, thank you. The work that's being done to support families, this is a partnership. I'm not doing the work alone. So thank you to anybody and everyone that supports, and including our parent volunteers. I forgot to mention, we had over a dozen parents coming in, putting these swag bags together. So we have a lot of great things to give away. And as Mr. Trueheart mentioned, if you're in need or you know somebody that needs support, I will drop my information in the email, I'm sorry, on Facebook. So please don't hesitate to reach out. But thank you, community. Thank you, parents. Thank you, community stakeholders, for participating, for viewing, for watching, for supporting this. As Mr. Trueheart mentioned, this broadcast will be posted onto our Trenton YouTube site, which is Trenton TV. So if you haven't subscribed, please subscribe. And we'll also be heard on the radio show at 7 p.m. Next week, correct? Because we're like a week behind. Mr. Trueheart, or is it tonight?
Check it out. Now you gotta you gotta listen every Tuesday at 7, because you don't know what you're gonna miss. I mean, it rotates. We have a rotating schedule. You gotta go and check it out on Tuesdays at 7 on IMG. Tune it in 5 times, stellar award-winning gospel station. You gotta go to Verizon Channel 28, Channel 28 at 11 o'clock on Thursdays. Check us out. It's a rotating schedule. So you never know what you're going to get, but you're going to get good information about the district and about the work and our parents and what's happening in our district. Hey, I want to give a shout out to our board president, Addie Daniels-Lane, who's our guest speaker, keynote speaker this weekend. You want to come out. Our vice president, Yolanda Madero Lopez, our Jeannie Weeklam, our facilities chair, Jean Bowie, our operations chair, Teron Tice McKnight, one of our board members who does great work, human resources, and policy committee, Denise Johnson doing great work. I mean, the board is engaged and involved with our district and with decision making, with our great work of our superintendent. Oh my goodness, Mr. James Earl, great work to him. We had a great budget meeting today around our budget, and it's a lot to look forward to. A lot of great work in store. We need your help, community. Come out, support Trenton Public Schools, parents, students, community partners, stakeholders. Come out and support. Be a part of the solutions, not part of the problem. Y'all know what I'm saying. Come be a part of the solution. Come with solutions that will support our students, support our teachers, support our parents, and build our schools so that they are the best schools in this city, in the state, around the nation.
All right, I think that's
All right.
it. There you have it, folks. Have a great evening, and till next week.
Till next week. God bless y'all.